Hi there, Erin with Open Doors on Wellness Wednesday. Wanting to share a few tips for those of you who are co-parenting through a pandemic. Co-parenting certainly adds another level of complexity and can add another level of stress to an already stressful situation. So I'm going to share with you 6 top tips for co-parenting through this time. Tip number 1 would be to maintain your regular normal access schedules if possible. So if you're a family who goes week on, week off, every second weekend, whatever the case may be, would be to maintain that. We know that children thrive on consistency and routine. We know that there's been so many changes for them lately. And so this little piece of normal for them is really, really important. Number 2 is to be consistent in your messaging. So be consistent in messaging between your 2 homes. This would require you to probably have a talk with your co-parent about what information is available to your kids about the current situation. What kind of information are you sheltering them from? How are you answering their questions? And what's the general message you're sending them so that they're getting the same messaging in both homes? Number 3, communication, communication, communication. I know that this is not possible in every situation. I know that there are a lot of you that do not have amicable relationships with your co-parent. For those of you that struggle, with a few problems that could be hopefully put aside for now, move those adult problems aside and really focus on best supporting your kids during this time. That would be wonderful. I'm not saying you can't come back to them, but during this time, in order to best support them, if we can move some of that aside. Clear communication with your co-parent about what measures are you taking in your home when they're with you on your time to, ensure safety and health in your home, and sharing those ideas with your co-parent. Also being able to have transparent communication with your co-parent if you thought the kids were exposed to somebody who had COVID-19 or they were showing symptoms of COVID-19, and to proactively come up with a plan with your co-parent about what you would do if either one of you had to self-isolate or a kid had to self-isolate and maybe be in somebody's home longer than expected. So to have a plan in place so that there's no kind of last minute decision making having to happen. Number 4 would be to be mindful. Be mindful that this has affected people differently, whether it's emotional stress, financial stress. Some of you might be relying on child support, but the co-parent has lost their job. So just be mindful that your co-parent might be experiencing things that are very different from you, and different stressors, and that it affects us all differently. Number 5 would be that know that you might see an increase in separation anxiety, and that's okay. That's normal for a time like now, and increase reassurance if you can. So maybe that means when they're not with you, you can increase your FaceTime or your text messaging or your phone calls, but to increase that reassurance for them. And the last tip would be, to really keep in mind where your decision making is coming from, and where is that coming from for you both? Is it coming from a place of a true best interest of your child? Or is it coming, from your own fears and anxieties about the situation? Maybe you don't want them going outside your home anymore, and you're trying to keep them, in, and it's from a place of safety for you, but it's based in your own anxieties and fears. And if it is based in your own anxieties and fears, I'd ask you to, make sure you have support for those, and to really kind of check in with yourself about what that's about, and, put supports in place for yourself. We are open Mondays through Fridays, 8:30 to 4:30. Phones are open. Support by a counselor is available to you. So please do not hesitate to reach out if you need it. I hope you all have a wonderful day.